It's finally here. FM22 has now officially dropped, and it's time to start our new adventure, Grassroots to Glory. The safe where we start within the English pyramid, we can go between England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales and work our way through different jobs to find our way in the Premier League and eventually win the Champions League. We won't stay at the same club forever. We are starting with Hungerford Town in England, in the Vanarama South. Well, things could easily change. If things don't go to plan, who knows? A sacking could happen, much more could happen, a promotion, move to a better job. If it all works out, we'll be in the Premier League and in the Champions League in the near future. But who knows? We'll see how the save goes, starting today at Hungerford Town. Let's get to it. So as we go in here, straight away, Hungerford Town hire Murphy. But before we get through all this spiel, let's get to the business. If you're liking the series, straight away, first episode, if you like it even better, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and give the video a big thumbs up at the very end if you've liked what you've seen here today. And come back for episode 2. These episodes will come out twice a week, possibly 3 times a week. We'll see how things go from here. But twice a week to start with, and we'll go from there. So yeah, first job, Hungerford Town. We're starting with the Crusaders. It's a big challenge, Vanarama South, so a lot of work to do if we want to take them all the way. I mean, we could move along the way, but we're going to see what happens. We are trying to keep these as realistic as possible. We're basing things off of the wage we're on. If we're going to get better money elsewhere, it's worthwhile doing it. We won't just be willy-nilly sacking staff because things aren't working. We need to keep it as real as possible. So, the first thing you can see here, we only have a 1-year deal, £750 per week, replacing Danny Robinson. So in my eyes, on a 1-year deal, we need to move to the area first. Obviously, I live right now in West Bromwich. That is nowhere near Hungerford Town. Nowhere near. So we need to go into Rightmove and have a look around, try and find a new property. It's only a 1-year deal, so we don't go buying anywhere. So we're thinking rentals. So let's go over there now and have a look at some rentals. So as we arrive on Rightmove, the first thing we do, we put in the area, this area only for Hungerford, but looking to rent there. Price range, no minimum. We're saying 2,000 is the very maximum we can afford a week. If you work it out in terms of how much we're actually on already, we're earning £3 a month. Well, every 4 weeks earning £3 anyway. So for £2 is a very maximum. It leaves £1 left over to pay for other expenses, our travel within the area, food, you know, all the normal stuff. So £2 is a very maximum you can afford on a rental. And then find properties. Let's see what we have. Let's see what we have. We've got a 2-bedroom apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bed flat. I mean, it looks nice. Have a nice little shop there. Not bad. Here we go. 1-bedroom flat. Oh, I thought it was a whole house there. Let's say it's a big house, isn't it, for that money? Big house. You see, Birch is quite an expensive area. For how much I'm paying where I live, we get a house for this sort of money. 2-bedroom masonette, I mean, that ain't too bad. Studio flats, 1-bedroom flat. And that is it. There isn't much on there right now for this area. I mean, let's look above that shop. That looks quite nice. Look above here. £700 a month. So we do get left with quite a lot of money. With a little clothes shop, I mean, looks quite smart, doesn't it? Looks very smart indeed. Obviously, those who have watched the series Ted Lasso, he lived above a shop, didn't he? He lived above a little shop, and I mean, that's quite a nice apartment he had as well. So very similar to that. We'll take it. Sold. I'll say sold. Rented. Bang. Rented. Let's go back to the game. So let's get back over to the game mode now. You can see it. We have been introduced, joining the Crusaders, Hungerford Town, welcoming Murphy. Let's get through this and have a quick little look for what's been going on. So 1-star reputation, media prediction of 15th. So we're not looking at any promotion this first season. It's going to be quite a task to get up there this first season. Hungerford finished 7th in the Vanarama South last season, so the predictions dropped massively down to 15th realistically, considering we finished 7th last time out. But club history, there is 1 trophy in there. But beside that, not much of a history. Quite a small stadium at the Bog Pit, 3,000 capacity, basic training facilities, poor youth facilities, fairly basic youth recruitment. You can see here, no budget to work upon. The wage budget probably is maximum everyone that's already at the club, so it'd be interesting to see if we can actually bring anyone in this season. We go through starting 11. I mean, Emerson here. How old is Emerson? He's 38. 38-year-old centre-back playing for us still. I mean, he can head a ball still and good jumping reach. He's literally good for set pieces and good work rate, but everything else about him, not great. Is it teamwork's all right? Bravery's great, but I mean, beside that, never heard of any of these. I mean, he seems to ring a bell actually. Ryan Seager. Where's he played for previously? We'll have a look in a second. We'll have a look at that striker in a second. I mean, give me an interesting one. He's a top earner as well, so it probably makes sense that I recognise him from somewhere. League player, Simo. midfielder. I mean, he looks okay actually. He ain't bad. 28-year-old Belgium lad. Not bad. Bit of international flair in here. And George Smith, the hot prospect. 21 years of age. Again, some alright mentors and decent physicals. I mean, there's nothing really in the attributes here, but we'll get further into it. Have a little bit of a look. So the club culture. Sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, really. Go for a nice youth team. Build it up from there. Work within the wage budget. I mean, we ain't got much to work with, realistically. For this season, finish the Vanarama South mid-table. Mid-table finish isn't too bad, is it really? The FA Cup reached the fourth qualifying round, and the FA Trophy reached the first round. They're the minimums. So not bad. Some good stuff to work on. That's when the contract does expire. So I mean, we'll see if we can get staying around for the rest of this in the future. But some good expectations there from the chairperson, Patrick Chambers. So we're going to see how it gets on. We go a bit further on now. We'll go through all this stuff and we'll get over to the squad. Let's have a look at some tactics in the squad and see what we're doing with the team. So as we come back in now, first thing you're welcomed by straight away is who's out of contract. Lower league, it's near enough everyone every season. Part-time players, like, are we a part-time club at this point actually? It's not worthwhile checking out, isn't it really? Semi-professional, yes, we are a semi-professional club at this time as well. So a lot of the players will be just 1 year rolling contracts. If you keep them, you keep them. If you can't, you can't. So it'd be interesting to see who's actually available. I mean, see here, 5-star potential, 5-star ability even player. We mentioned already Simo. Out of contract end of the season, so probably someone we need to get locked down in straight away. Easily our best player, easily best player. £200 a week, somebody to keep hold of. I mean, there's quite a few boys here. You see some decent abilities as well. Kyle Bailey, he's had a contract already offered to him, luckily already by the looks of it, which is pretty good. Very decent fullback, not bad. So just keep an eye on there to go through his contracts, see who we're keeping, who we're not bothering. Go for a tactical direction. The club vision we mentioned previously, like signing players under the age of 23. And then we got our pre-season prep. We've set this actually. We'll go through all this sort of stuff. All stuff to do. Injuries, no injuries coming to, which is great to start with, really. No injuries already here. We have declined our press conference at the start of the save. We'll get into the old press and everything further down the line. But yeah, let's go straight over to the squad. Have a little shuff through, see who's looking like the key players, who we're going to have on our main team. I mean, keeper straight away. It's just like Luke Kearney's near the main net for us. Being I know keeper. A decent ratings here, sort of thing. I mean, let's have a look overall though. Reflex is very decent. Aerial reach, communication. Not a bad keeper for this level. Not bad at all. A bit of valuation on him, so if we did want to move him on and get someone else in, we could do. But I mean, I don't know if we'll get much better for that money, really. We'll go on the list now. Matthew Kalfa. I mean, not a bad backup keeper, is it really? 20 years of age. Not bags of ability by looks of it, potentially. But I mean, it's based on our scouting range. Like, our scouts might not be that good at this point. We don't really know. So, something to look forward to. I mean, rushing out reflexes are fairly decent. Got good bravery and decision making. So, useful bits. We'll go on through here. Have a look at some of the ones that actually got higher abilities and just see who's worth keeping. Kyle Bailey, we had a quick look at already. I mean, do you play him as a centre back or a full back? He's got decent acceleration, but crossing and getting forward. I mean, at this level, we're probably not that far forward, really. It's a case of getting the ball and just playing it forward. He's down as a star player as well, interestingly enough. I mean, for set pieces, good heading and jumping reach. Good to see. Determination's fairly decent. Decent passing range. So it'd be interesting to see. We'll have a look at this guy a bit more and decide is he going to be our CB or RB for the season. Get a bit further into him. Let's have a look. So we got further down here. Callum Wilmoth. CDM. I mean, can you play the CDM? I don't know if we can play the CDM this season yet. Yeah, ball winning midfielder. It's not bad. Decent tackling and marking. Good work around teamwork as well, which you love to see that in there. Bravery is decent. Aggression, going to be a bit worrying, but I mean, it's just enough at 14. It's not over the top. Not bad. Strength, stamina. Decent enough mentors. Decent enough physicals. Not a bad little player. Decent. And in the midfield as well with him. Possibly centre back as well. James Rushby. I mean, looking at Rushby here, at 5'11", he's not going to be playing centre back for us. But again, could he be our CM partner in the middle? It could be these two boys. Yeah, both ball midfielders like that, their best role. So maybe try and push one out as a box to box, possibly. Like the work rate's good enough there for him to do it. Not bad. Good stamina as well. So possibly Rushby could go to box, but we'll pick the tactic and try and work around some of these players. Make sure these boys get in the squad. But these two could be our CM partnership, really. You're saying that though. Simo, who we mentioned prior as well, is another CM. Ball winning deep line playmaker. So in the free, if I may play with a free midfield, play with the 4-3-3 with one of them as a CDM, possibly. This boy as a CM as well. And we can't have all ball winning midfielders though, so maybe him in deep line playmaker is okay. Not bad. The vision helps with it really, so anticipation really helps as well. He's a box to box. I don't see it so much, but we'll see. But a good strong base in the centre midfield, which is good to see at the start of the save. You love to see that. And the other one here, Jake Evans. Again, we can put him as right back, couldn't we really? Put the other guy as a CB by the looks of it. Looks fairly accomplished to play right back. Again, as a CM as well, he can definitely do that job as well. So it's going to be interesting going forward, maybe to play Jake. I'm thinking at the moment, maybe right back, and we can move the other lad into the CB's role even. So we'll see going forward. Further down here, there's a few more, like 2.5 star potentials. So we've got Ryan Seeger, we mentioned previously. I feel like it's Southampton who's that. Southampton, there we go, Southampton. A few loans, MK Dons, Yeovil, Telstar, then we have a free transfer to Yeovil, up to Havant on Waterloo, Frome, and then a free transfer to Hungerford. So, a good season in last year as well. 14 and 19, so see, it could be our main man up front. The features look great, but as a pressing forward, which we do often play with as well, this could be our man. It could be our goal scorer this season. Ryan Seeger could be the man who gets the goals for us. So we come back in now. We've set up a tactic, 4-4-2, box standard really to go with. We've made it all ourselves. I had to mess around here with some ideas. So, I mean, we're going for the actual team now. Look, so we mentioned Kenny. He's going to be our number 1 keeper this season, 100%. Looks like the main man there. We found this guy Evans within the team. We looked at him early on, obviously. We mentioned CM or right back. He's going to be on right back for us this season. Just because at 23, there's a lot more to come with, I think. At 23, there's a lot more to come with this boy, Evans. Pairing him up with Bailey at the back. We mentioned Bailey is predominantly a right back, but we're going to do a centre back for this season. There's enough about him to be a good centre back, 6'2" as well. You got that height. Nice little person to get in there. Emerson. We mentioned the 38-year-old Emerson. He's left footed, so he's like left footed centre back. He's the boy. He doesn't have the pace, so we'll be saying to him, stay back, do not go forward, do not have the legs to go forward anymore, mate. 38. He's still here though, he's still here. So you keep him in the first team for now. If Jones comes in at left back, we didn't really have many options for left back really, and Jones was transfer listed when he came to the club. So yeah, it's an emergency backup, but I mean, in terms of other options, it's our weakest area. So if we can try and get a bit of left back in, which we'll try. I mean, he's got enough pace about him and decent tackling, so I think there's enough there. It's just that passing though, 3 passings, absolutely shocking. So I'm not sure about that one yet. If we go to the right midfield position now, we've gone with Reece Tyler. Again, a predominant right back mainly, but we looked at other people for that position. We looked elsewhere, and he's probably the best one there. Again, it's another position I thought was a bit weak. So left back and right midfield, 2 positions already to improve on. But this guy will have to do for now. He would do the job. We'll see how he gets on at the start of the season. We mentioned Simo already, our main player, the key guy, £200 a week, star player. Centre midfield has to be there all day long, don't they? We haven't decided what role yet exactly though for him. We're still unsure what we're doing role-wise really here. We put him as a CM for now, and a box-to-box for Wilmoth next to him. We did say earlier he's more of a ball-winning midfielder, so we know what things out like. He's in a box to he's not a box-to-box realistically, so he won't be doing that. So we're gonna mess around with the roles though through pre-season, see what really works. As we've put on 22-year-old Solomon Wanjai Smith on the left-hand side. I mean, can be a pace about him, decent crossing, decent passing, not bad for this level really. Before, let's try him out. Let's try him out. He's now a fringe player as well. Decent potential though, 4-star eventually. I mean, if he gets there or not, who knows? With enough first team football, he could be a good player for us. In he comes on the left-hand side, and then strike force there. We'll go to Bentley first. Bentley comes in as our poacher. I have a poacher and a pressing forward. Before having that pressing man, pressing the defence all day long. Who wins the ball, he'll be in the middle. Bentley's going to be there to poach some goals. Decent bit of finishing, first touch, heading. Just linger around that box. Just linger in there all day long. And hopefully this boy wins the ball back for us. So we mentioned already, probably our next, well, he's our star player, £350 a week. Ryan Seeger goes in as our pressing forward alongside him. We've taken him as an advanced forward as well. It was like Umar and Aaron here in the 2. But I'm thinking more as that pressing forward. Got to be a decent amount. I mean, they're decent long shots as well. It's quite interesting. So there's a few options there, but we're thinking pressing forward and poacher for the start of this season for the strike pairing. We'll see how they get on. I mean, he's a very good player, Seeger, to be fair. For this level as well, he's a very, very good player. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to go into the actual media predictions and stuff, have a look in terms of what we have finances-wise and see how we're looking. Let's have a look. So as we go to the season preview, we can see here, we're right down here. We are right down at the bottom, 17th. So possibly the relegation battle this season. It's going to be an interesting first season to see how we get on. I mean, we ain't got much of a reputation. We got 1 or 2 okay players for the league, but everything else is that we're going to be struggling. We're going to be struggling. I mean, these games here, all we must win games realistically. I mean, you see these like 33-1 though between us, Chippenham, and Eastbourne. So we can get minimum 15 from our first season. I think that'd be a very good achievement, to be honest, and then try and build on from there going forward. But yeah, finances. You can see there we have about a few £100 spare spent on wages. So the potential to bring someone else in for left back and right midfield is there. There's a bit of money there. There's no transfer budget. 25% of transfer revenue is made available until 2 million revenue has been generated. I don't see us getting 2 million generated revenue anytime soon. I don't see that happening in one bit. But for now, we're going to call it there. Next episode, we'll come back with the first game of the season and see how we're doing in pre-season. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to get a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time for another episode of Grassroots to Glory.